Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to look at Oracle, ticker symbol ORCL, and I'm going to show you kind of how I'm seeing it, as well as give you some price predictions on where I think this might be going, and give you a little glimpse into what I'm doing. So, as many of you know, they just reported earnings yesterday, and they crushed it, right? So we had a nice move from, we had a nice move from 118 all the way up until 215, which it hit today. So it's nearly doubled, but in the last 3 days alone, we went from a low of 169 all the way up to 215 in a 3-bar surge. So this is kind of how I'm looking at things. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look to draw a parallel, and where I'm going to grab that is from this low pivot here. And what we're going to do is take a look at how this is framed in there with those lows there, and then we're going to drag it all the way up to here. And you can see we overthrew the parallel today, right? So then I start looking at it and I'm like, okay, well, why might that be, and why did we overthrow it? What else am I missing beyond this parallel? So the next thing I want to do is see if I could find something else. And we're going to take this pivot through these right here. We're going to go like so, and boom. Okay, so here's kind of how I'm seeing things, and let's just put on the daily real quick to see if that changes anything. Yeah, not really. Okay, so we're going to go back to the 24-hour, and you can see that if we zoom in on kind of where we're at today, we overthrew the parallel, right? And then we have these highs right here connected. So again, when you draw trend lines, what you want to do is you want to find obviously the high pivot, but then what you want to do is you want to get it exact, and then you want to find the multiple touch points, right? So you want to see it go through as many as you can, and if it goes through the wicks, fine. And then you want to touch it to the bodies as close as you possibly can. So the more touch points, the better, because that means that it's strong, and these are just simply wicks and overthrows into it, just like this might wind up being. But we'll see, right? So what I'm looking at is obviously this was a great level, this top of the parallel, 210, right? So I actually entered a short in this today at 210, actually 210.37 to be exact. And I dollar cost average at 215 when it clips 215. And then my third dollar cost average is going to be up here around 219, 220. So whenever I get into a swing put or a swing trade, whether it's put or call, what I'm looking to do is, one, have my levels in advance, know where and when I'm going to get into those levels. And then, like I said in previous videos, I always kind of go into trades thinking that I may not have the right level, and that I'm going to have to dollar cost average. And what that allows me to do is manage my risk and manage my portfolio better. So I'm a big fan of going in at either 0.5%, meaning 0.05% of portfolio, or 1% or 1.5%, just depending on your level of confidence in the particular trade. And then what I do is I just dollar cost average from there, right? If I'm going in at 0.05%, which is 0.5%, then I'm going to do another 0.5%, which gives me a 1% allocation. And then if I need to a third level, I'll go another 1%. That gives me a 2% allocation, and then so on and so forth, right? From 2 to another 2, which gives me 4, so on and so forth. You get the idea. But that allows me to keep my cost average close relative to current price. And that's super important as you're in a swing trade, so that when it goes into your favor, and even a little bit, one, you have a larger position, and two, you have, I don't know where that just popped up, and then two, you have the ability to turn a 10% game, or the minute it moves in by 10%, you can get out and cut the trade. And for me, it's all about singles and doubles. I'm not trying to hit home runs. I want to hit 10% to 20% at a time. I want to clip them off consistently, rinse and repeat. That's how I roll. That's how I make money. That's why my win percentage is so high, and that's why I'm turning $75,000 to $100,000 a month in profits. So again, these are kind of this is kind of how I see it. Obviously, just look at the history of this particular stock and any stock. They don't move like this, especially from the bottom of a parallel all the way to the top of the parallel and through the parallel. So, so obviously this is severely overdone. It will correct, and the way to think of this is it's like a rubber band, right? The tighter and tighter and tighter you stretch it out, the bigger the response is, right? So the same kind of thing happens here. You go right into a key level like this. When it rebounds, it snaps back, right? So let's now look at kind of levels. Oh, I want to show you one more thing. Okay, so let's just count the green days we have. And I'm going to go back to the daily just to show you this. Actually, we're going to look at it this way. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that, my friends, is a 7-day time count. 7 up days in a row. You have a 3-bar surge. This level to me is tasty. Really nice to get into. Like I said, I'm already in dollar cost averaged, and I'll continue to all the way up, possibly even past here. Who knows? Again, I go into these trades knowing that I may have to be into them for a while, and I'm prepared to do that. But this will come in, this will come back, and this is going to be a great trade. So let's look at levels. So here's kind of what I'm seeing. Depending on where you take your fib retracement, let's say it ends here and we place it either here or here. I like to go with the longest of the trend, right? So you have this correction, then you're off. So I'm going to put it there, and then a very basic fib correction is going to be the 382. But since this is so bullish, let's actually just put the 236 on 1 second. Where are you? 0.236. I don't know why it's gone, but we're going to put it back in, and we're going to make that purple. Okay. When did that note go on? Sorry, 1 second. Let's look at this one more time. 0.2. Oops, that's why. It's a point. 0.236. Okay, now we're in business. Okay, there we go. So at a very, very minimum, I think we're going back to this level, which would make a lot of sense, right? So here's the previous all-time highs, and that would be, my friends, a basic scene of the crime retrace. Whether you take the wicks, you go from there. I'm gonna go from the bodies. I'm gonna go from kind of right here. So in this range right here, even if you did it to there, right? So there you go. At a minimum, we're going back under 200. I was just there today. So here's kind of how I see it unfolding. Could it come back right away? Sure. So let's just go with that. Maybe we do something like, this. That would be a nice little correction off this 7-bar time count or 7-day time count. Another way, it could consolidate up here and then fail. A bunch of different ways this can go, but I think this is probably the best, just because it makes the most sense given this extension, this extended move. So this is kind of going to be my primary pathing. Alternate pathing could probably be something like this. It could consolidate, boom, like this, a little bit. And then just kind of, and then fail, be a failed bull flag. That would get us probably a lot lower, probably down to here, because it'd be a failed move. But you get the idea. It's going to do something like this. It will come in, and a great way to play this is via just short the stock, or you could play, long dated, not long dated puts, but 90 to 100 days out, give you a nice little cushion. That'd be safe. So yeah, so that's kind of what I'm doing. That's kind of how I see it. Again, I'll remind everyone, I'm not a financial advisor. No financial advice will be given on this channel. It's only for educational purposes and to share with you what I'm doing in my personal portfolio and with my own personal trading strategies, and to give everyone education as it relates to ways to potentially navigate this volatile market. So I hope you liked today's analysis. If you did, please show your love and smash that like button. It obviously helps, especially with a new channel like this, and share it with fellow traders, your friends, family members. Definitely remember to subscribe, tick that little bell, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks, and have a good day.